Hi, in this video we'll write a program to display first n numbers, that is first n natural numbers will display. So example, if input to the program is let's say 5, the output we expect from the program is 1 to 5. So it should display a numbering sequence from 1 to 5. So example, if let's say the input is n, then output has to be 1, 2, 3 and so on till n minus 1 and n. So let's see how we can implement this. So in our program, what we'll write is we'll have some variables to store the values. So we'll have a variable n which will hold the input value, and let's say input value is 5. And what we'll do is we'll have a counter variable, and that will be initialized to 1. And this counter variable will be the actual variable which will be printed on the screen. So what we'll do is we'll write a logic that will check the counter value with n. So right now I can see, well, counter is 1 and n is 5. So I'll write something like this. I need to check a counter value if it is less than or equal to n. So yes, right now the counter value is n, 1, n value is 5. So I'll do the comparison, and since the condition is true, what I'll do is I'll print the value of counter on the screen. So let's say on an output, we get the output value as 1 as of now, and we'll increment the counter value by 1. So I'll write some statement that will increment the counter by 1, that is counter plus possibly in our code. And once it is incremented, I would like to, so after incrementing it will become 2. I'll again like to go and compare value with 5. So it means what? After this statement, it should go back on the counter comparison. So I would like to write this whole thing in a loop. So I'll write a while statement here. So I'll say while this condition is true, the block should execute. So it will go back. It will compare counter value with n, that is compare 2 with 5, which is true. It will display the counter value. On output 2 will be printed. Counter value will be incremented by 1. It becomes 3. Again it will go back, check is 3 less than or equal to 5. Yes. Display the counter value. Counter value on the output will be displayed as 3. Increment the counter value by 1. It becomes 4. Again go back and check the condition is 4 less than or equal to 5. Yes. Display the counter value. It will display 4. Increment the counter value by 1. It becomes 5. I'll go back and compare. Is 5 less than or equal to 5? Yes. I'll display the counter value. I'll display 5. Again I'll go back and increment. The counter value becomes 6. And now when I do the comparison, if I compare 6 with 5, that is I compare counter value with 5, the condition fails and the loop terminates. And when the loop terminates, we can stop the program, and on the output we'll have the required format. So let's see the program. We'll implement it. So what I have right now is I have Visual Studio opened on my machine, and I have created a project, added a file. You can use any other programming environment as you wish. So what we'll do here is we'll start writing a program. First I'll take the problem statement from here. What we want is this. I'll just copy the problem statement in my code as is. This is the problem statement we are trying to solve, and we'll start the programming. First we'll include the header file that simply helps us to use printf and scanf functions. So I'll write int main, and I'll do some declaration. So I'll say we'll declare variable to store input value, that is n. So I'll declare a variable n. We will declare a counter variable, and counter variable will have initial value as 1. Next we'll prompt the user to enter the value of n. So write printf statement to enter value of n, we'll read the input, we'll say scanf %d and of n. So we have read the value from the user, and now what we'll do is we'll write a loop as I explained, and loop will test a condition if counter value is less than equal to n. If that is the case, then what we'll do is we'll iterate, write a block, and that will first thing we'll do is we'll display value of counter, value we have, so we'll display the value of counter, and the next thing what we'll do is we'll increment the value of counter by 1. Okay, so I'll say counter plus plus, and the block completes. So already as we discussed that the loop will execute until the condition is true. Once the condition fails, the loop will terminate, and what we'll do is we'll just return 0 and complete our function block. Okay. I'll save this program, we'll build the code. I'll build the code. Okay, and we'll execute it. I'll execute it line by line so that you understand. So let's say our execution starts from main, and step by step it declares variables. It is reading an input value from the user, and the value entered is, let's say, 5. So it is going to compare 1 with 5. The condition is true. It will go in the loop. It will display the value of counter and increment it. And if I want to see the output, I can see 1 is printed. So it will go back, and now it will check is 2 less than equal to 5. Yes. It will again display counter value, increment the counter value. Now counter is 3 less than equal to 5. Yes. Display increment. Now counter becomes 4 less than 5. Yes. Display increment. Now counter is 5 less than equal to 5. Yes. The loop will execute last time, display it, and increment it. Now if you see the value of counter is 6 and is 5, and this time the loop should terminate. So the loop terminates, and I see the output as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's quite an easy program. You can try to implement this. So let me know if it is understandable. Thank you for watching the video.